Jam and tearing up the slab down around the Gulf.
The futuristic semi-truck that dominated NBC's The Highwayman in 1987 wasn't just special effects magic. The producers actually built 3 full-size functional trucks that cost the network over $2 million combined. But why did the original truck burst into flames during the pilot episode? How did a paint supplier's mistake create the truck's iconic look? And what's the truth behind that mysterious turbine engine that never actually existed? Today, we're counting down 20 weird facts about Jetto's truck from The Highwayman that will completely change how you see this legendary television vehicle. From hidden production disasters to replica controversies decades later, these revelations might just blow your mind. So buckle up, hit that like button if you love 1980s action, shows, and custom vehicles, and let's dive into the secrets behind this transforming big rig. Number 20. The Kenworth chassis cost more than most houses. The foundation of Jetto's truck started with a brand new Kenworth K100 Aerodyne cab over. This wasn't some junkyard find or promotional loaner. NBC purchased it outright in 1986 for $87,000. That's equivalent to roughly $230,000 in today's money. The Aerodyne was Kenworth's most advanced cab design, featuring aerodynamic styling that reduced drag and improved fuel economy, perfect for a futuristic television truck. But NBC didn't just buy one. They bought 3 identical chassis to ensure continuous filming. If one truck broke down or needed modifications, 2 others stood ready. The total chassis purchase cost $261,000 before any customization began. Production accountants nearly had heart attacks when the invoices arrived. Glenn Larson, the show's creator, had to personally justify the expense to network executives. He argued that the truck was essentially the show's co-star. It needed to look expensive and futuristic. Executives reluctantly approved, but demanded the trucks be insured for their full value. Finding an insurance company willing to cover 3 custom television trucks proved nearly impossible. Most carriers refused, considering them too specialized and risky. Eventually, Lloyd's of London agreed to underwrite the policy at an astronomical premium. The insurance alone cost $15,000 monthly. Number 19. George Barris refused to build it.
Look what Barris did to that old Buick. He made it into a new Buick.
Glenn Larson's first call went to George Barris, the legendary customizer behind the Batmobile, KITT, and dozens of famous TV vehicles. Barris was the obvious choice for building the Highwayman truck. He'd worked on Larson's previous shows and understood television production demands, but Barris said no. Flat refused. The reason? The timeline was impossible, and the design was too complex. Larson wanted the truck ready in 6 weeks. Barris needed at least 6 months for proper construction. The truck required transforming bodywork that actually functioned, not just special effects trickery. Real mechanical systems that could operate repeatedly during filming. The cab had to split and reveal hidden compartments. The trailer needed to telescope and extend. Side panels had to retract, revealing weapons. Barris knew his reputation couldn't survive a rush job. If the truck failed on camera or looked cheap, it would damage his legacy. He recommended Jay Orberg, another Hollywood vehicle builder, who specialized in impossible deadlines. Orberg had built the Ecto-1 for Ghostbusters and had experience with mechanized vehicles. Barris made the introduction personally, then stepped away completely. Years later, Barris admitted he regretted the decision. The Highwayman truck became iconic despite its short television run. He'd turned down a chance to build something truly unique. The decision haunted him professionally for years. Number 18. Jay Orberg built it in a condemned warehouse.
He knew that the space could be relit as a 1-for-1. From that point, I just talked to the...
Jay Orberg didn't have a proper shop available when NBC's contract arrived. His main facility was completely booked building vehicles for other productions. He needed space immediately. Orberg found a condemned warehouse in North Hollywood, scheduled for demolition in 4 months. The building had no heat, minimal electricity, and a roof that leaked when it rained. Perfect. The rent was cheap and the landlord didn't care what happened inside. Orberg moved in with a crew of 12 fabricators. They worked around the clock in freezing conditions. Winter in Los Angeles isn't brutal, but inside an unheated warehouse at 3 in the morning, it's miserable. The crew wore multiple layers and used portable heaters that barely made a dent. The building's electrical system couldn't handle the welding equipment, compressors, and power tools running simultaneously. Breakers tripped constantly. They'd be in the middle of a critical weld and suddenly lose power. Orberg hired an electrician to run temporary lines directly from the street transformer. The city never approved it. Technically illegal, but nobody was inspecting a condemned building. The roof leaks created bigger problems. Rain would drip directly onto freshly painted components. They'd spend hours painting parts. Then overnight rain would ruin everything. The crew started checking weather forecasts obsessively. If rain was predicted, they'd cover everything with tarps and stop painting. The condemned warehouse's demolition was postponed twice. The project ran over schedule. Number 17. The paint color was a supplier's mistake.
Edge in the booth, new front bumper, new fender, and a new headlight going on this job.
Orberg's team ordered custom paint from a specialty supplier. The specifications called for gunmetal gray with blue metallic flakes, a sophisticated, futuristic color that would photograph well under television lights. The supplier mixed the paint and delivered 50 gallons. When they opened the first can, something was wrong. The color was completely different. Instead of gray-blue, it was a deep charcoal with purple undertones. Metallic flakes were larger than specified. The batch was obviously wrong. Orberg called the supplier immediately. They admitted the mistake, but couldn't correct the correct paint for 3 weeks. The show was filming in 2 weeks. Using the wrong paint or waiting were both unacceptable options. The production designer examined the incorrect paint under various lighting conditions. Studio lights, sunset, darkness with spotlights. The purple charcoal color actually looked incredible. More dramatic than the original specification, it had depth and mystery that gray-blue lacked. The metallic flakes created a subtle shimmer that added visual interest without being flashy. They decided to use the mistake. The supplier offered a 50% discount. Orberg accepted and moved forward. That accidental paint became the Highwayman truck's signature look. Fans later described the color as midnight purple or cosmic charcoal. Paint manufacturers received requests for the Highwayman truck color for years. Nobody could match it exactly because it was literally a mistake. Number 16. The turbine engine was completely fake.
Loosen up the drain plug. This is with an 1.5-inch socket. It's going to be about 9 gallons of.
The show's premise featured a truck powered by an experimental turbine engine. Press materials described advanced aerospace technology adapted for highway use. Promotional photos showed a massive turbine assembly in the engine bay. Pure fiction. The trucks ran on standard Caterpillar diesel engines. Big, reliable, boring diesel power. The visible turbine was a fiberglass shell built around the actual engine. It looked futuristic with fake compressor blades and polished aluminum housings. Completely non-functional. The deception went further. Sound designers created turbine sounds in post-production. That distinctive whine when the truck accelerated, recorded from an actual aircraft turbine, then modified digitally. The engine sounds viewers heard bore no relation to what the trucks actually sounded like. On set, they sounded like every other semi-truck. Loud, diesel, unmistakable. This created problems during filming. Directors would call for the truck to accelerate dramatically. The sound would be a disappointing diesel rumble. They learned to shoot those scenes silent and add the turbine whine later. Some scenes required the truck to appear to move impossibly fast. The diesel engines couldn't deliver that performance. They used camera tricks, undercranking, and creative editing. The turbine engine myth persisted for years. Trucking magazines wrote articles about the experimental technology. Engineers debated whether turbine trucks were practical. Nobody from the production ever publicly admitted it was completely fake until a 2005 interview. Number 15. The cab separation mechanism failed constantly. The truck's signature feature was the cab splitting apart to reveal hidden equipment. This required complex hydraulics and precision engineering. Orberg's team built the mechanism in 3 weeks. It never worked properly. The hydraulic system had to lift and separate 2 sections of cab, weighing over 800 pounds each. The movements needed to be smooth, synchronized, and repeatable. The first test was a disaster. The hydraulics lifted one side faster than the other. The cab twisted and jammed halfway open. They spent 2 days resetting everything and adjusting the flow controls. The second test worked better. Both sides lifted evenly, but the mechanism was painfully slow, taking 45 seconds to fully separate. Television's directors needed it to happen in under 10 seconds for dramatic effect. They increased hydraulic pressure to speed things up. The faster speed created new problems. The cab sections would slam into their stops with tremendous force. Fiberglass body panels cracked. Mounting brackets bent. The alignment would shift, requiring constant adjustment. By the third episode, the mechanism had failed 12 times. Sometimes it wouldn't open at all. Other times it would open but refuse to close. The crew learned to pray before every take requiring the transformation. If it worked, they'd immediately shoot multiple angles before it broke again. Later episodes minimized the cab separation scenes. Writers found creative ways to avoid showing it. When absolutely necessary, they'd use the one functioning truck and shoot extensively. Number 14. Sam Jones. Did all his own driving stunts.
And guess what? What? The trucks leave empty, zero weight, and return full gross capacity.
Sam Jones, who played the Highwayman, was an experienced stunt driver before becoming an actor. He'd worked as a stunt coordinator on several films in the early 1980s. When the show hired him, his contract included a clause allowing him to perform his own driving stunts. The insurance company hated this clause. They tried to block it. Network executives overruled them. Jones's driving ability was part of why they cast him. He could actually handle the massive truck through complex maneuvers. Most actors would need a stunt double for every driving shot. Jones could do it himself, saving time and money. His skills were immediately apparent. The first episode required him to jackknife the truck around a corner at speed. Most professional stunt drivers would practice this maneuver extensively. Jones nailed it on the second take. The first take was just to check camera positions. The crew was shocked. Handling a 40-foot semi-truck like a sports car requires exceptional skill. Jones made it look effortless. He performed sliding stops, high-speed reversals, and precision positioning without difficulty. This created a problem for the stunt coordinator. They'd planned elaborate safety precautions, assuming an inexperienced driver. Jones's competence made many precautions unnecessary, but safety protocols couldn't be ignored just because the driver was skilled. This led to arguments. Jones felt restricted by excessive safety measures. Coordinators insisted on following procedures. The compromise was extensive rehearsal with minimal takes. Jones would practice until everyone was confident. Then they'd shoot it for real. Number 13. The trailer was built from recycled Knight Rider parts. The Highwayman's trailer needed hidden compartments, transforming sections, and high-tech equipment. Building everything from scratch would exceed the budget. Orberg found a creative solution. Knight Rider had just ended production. Universal Studios was liquidating props and set pieces. Orberg bought Knight Rider's mobile command unit components. The MCU trailer from Knight Rider contained similar technology. Computer stations, hidden panels, sophisticated lighting. Everything the Highwayman needed. Orberg's crew disassembled the Knight Rider components and redesigned them for the new trailer. The modifications were extensive enough that nothing looked recognizably Knight Rider. Different colors, different layouts, different aesthetics. But the underlying mechanisms and electronics came directly from KITT's support vehicle. This recycling saved approximately $150,000. More importantly, it saved time. The Knight Rider components were proven television equipment. They'd survived 3 years of filming. They were durable and camera-friendly. Sharp-eyed viewers occasionally noticed similarities between the shows. The computer interfaces looked suspiciously similar. The hidden panel mechanisms operated identically. Fan forums discussed the connection for years. Nobody from production confirmed it until decades later. A prop master mentioned it casually during a 2012 convention panel. The revelation surprised nobody who'd worked in television production. Recycling props was standard practice. Number 12, NBC canceled it due to truck maintenance costs.
My patience is waning. Is this entertaining? My patience.
The Highwayman's cancellation after one season is usually attributed to low ratings. The truth is more complicated. Ratings were mediocre, but not catastrophic. The real problem was the trucks themselves. Maintaining 3 custom semi-trucks was destroying the production budget. Each truck required constant repairs. The modifications made them mechanically unreliable. Standard Kenworth parts couldn't always be used because custom components interfered. Special fabrication was required for routine maintenance. The hydraulic systems leaked constantly. Seals would fail, requiring complete system draining and rebuilding. This happened weekly. The custom bodywork cracked and split from normal use. Fiberglass repairs became a full-time job for 2 crew members. The electrical systems were nightmares. Dozens of modifications created wiring tangles that nobody fully understood. Tracking down electrical problems could take days. The production budget allocated $20,000 per episode for vehicle maintenance. By episode 5, they were spending $45,000. The overrun was unsustainable. NBC accountants projected full season costs exceeding $1.2 million for vehicle maintenance alone. Executive producers tried cutting costs. They reduced the number of transformation scenes. They limited driving sequences. They even considered writing out the truck entirely for some episodes. None of these measures satisfied the network. When renewal discussions began, NBC executives presented a choice: drastically reduce truck usage or find another network. No compromise could bridge the gap. The show was canceled. Number 11, One Truck, still exists in a private collection. After cancellation, NBC liquidated the 3 Highwayman trucks. 2 were completely stripped for parts and scrapped. The 3rd survived intact. A private collector in Arizona bought it at auction for $32,000. This was 1988. The truck was already deteriorating. The custom bodywork was damaged. The hydraulics didn't work. The paint was faded and chipped. The collector, whose name has never been publicly revealed, spent 5 years restoring it. He tracked down original crew members for technical information. He sourced the correct components from salvage yards. He hired specialists to rebuild the hydraulic systems. The restoration cost exceeded $200,000, more than 6 times the purchase price. But the collector didn't care about money. He wanted to preserve television history. The restored truck appeared at a Phoenix car show in 1994. Crowds mobbed it. People who had worked on the show traveled to see it. Sam Jones himself showed up unannounced and spent hours talking with fans. Since then, the truck has remained in private storage. The owner occasionally loans it for special events or conventions. He refuses all purchase offers. Multiple offers have exceeded $1 million. The owner, now in his 70s, has stated the truck will be donated to a transportation museum after his death. Which museum remains undecided. Several institutions have expressed interest. The Peterson Automotive Museum, the National Automobile Museum, and the Hollywood Museum have all made proposals. The truck's ultimate destination remains uncertain. Number 10, the flamethrower, actually worked too well.
So do we, United States Army, and Colonel Westcourt. Looks like you found someone who belongs to us. Pocos, pocos, Dios.
Ja, sag den Zauberspruch.
The Highwayman's truck featured defensive flamethrowers mounted in the wheel wells. These weren't just visual effects. Orberg built functional propane-powered flame systems that could actually shoot fire. The special effects coordinator, a veteran of action films, designed them using modified industrial torch assemblies. Each wheel well housed a nozzle connected to pressurized propane tanks in the trailer. The system could produce 15-foot flames on command. During the pilot episode's climactic chase scene, they tested the flamethrowers for the first time under full operating conditions. The director wanted dramatic fire effects for the villains pursuing vehicles. The special effects team set the propane pressure higher than tested. When they triggered the flames, the result was spectacular and terrifying. 20-foot flames erupted from all four wheel wells simultaneously. The heat was so intense it melted the truck's rear mud flaps completely. Nearby crew members felt the heat from 30 feet away. The asphalt beneath the truck started bubbling. They'd created an uncontrollable inferno. The fire extinguishing team rushed in, but the propane tanks had to burn out naturally. 3 minutes of panic ensued before the flames subsided. The melted components required 2 days of repairs. The production designer insisted on keeping the flamethrowers, but demanded reduced propane pressure. Subsequent uses were controlled and safe, though significantly less impressive than that first terrifying test. Number 9. Jaclyn Smith's guest appearance required truck interior redesign.
Jaclyn Smith has fans in disbelief over her latest Instagram post.
Jaclyn Smith guest starred in episode 7 as a fellow highway patrol officer. Her character needed scenes inside the truck's cab. One problem: the cab interior was designed for Sam Jones, who stood 6 feet 2 inches tall. Smith was 5 feet 7. The height difference created impossible camera angles. She couldn't reach the controls. Her eyeline was wrong. The seat positioning made her look like a child driving her father's truck. Production designers had 1 week to redesign the entire cab interior. They built adjustable seat platforms that could raise or lower depending on which actor was filming. The steering wheel received a telescoping column that could extend 6 inches. Dashboard controls were relocated to accommodate different arm lengths. The modifications cost $18,000 for a single episode. NBC executives were furious about the expense. They demanded to know why the cab wasn't designed to accommodate different actors from the beginning. The production team had no good answer. They'd simply never considered it. The adjustable components remained in place for the rest of the season. Other guest stars benefited from the modifications, but the expense of redesigning for one episode became a cautionary tale in television production. Several crew members later used it as an example of poor planning in interviews. The incident contributed to the show's reputation for budget mismanagement that ultimately led to cancellation. Number 8. The truck's computer system cost more than the special effects. The Highwayman's onboard computer was supposed to be cutting-edge technology. The production hired actual computer engineers to build a functioning system. This was 1987. Personal computers were still relatively new. Building a custom computer system for a truck was genuinely advanced. The engineers installed multiple monitors displaying real data, functioning keyboards, and actual computing hardware. The system could theoretically operate independently, though most displays showed pre-programmed graphics during filming. The computer components alone cost $93,000. The entire special effects budget for the pilot episode was $85,000. The computer cost more than explosions, stunts, and practical effects combined. Network accountants questioned this allocation repeatedly. The production argued that the computer needed to look believable. Audiences in 1987 were becoming computer literate. Fake blinking lights wouldn't fool them anymore. The computer system featured actual IBM hardware modified to fit the truck's console. Custom software was written specifically for the show. The programming took 6 weeks. Most of it displayed meaningless data that looked impressive on screen. Temperature readings, speed calculations, tactical displays. All cosmetic, but technically functional. The irony? Most episodes barely showed the computer. Directors preferred action over technology. Hours of programming work would get 5 seconds of screen time. The engineers who built it felt their work was wasted. They'd created genuinely innovative technology for a show that didn't appreciate it. Number 7. A stunt driver broke his collarbone in the cab. Episode 12 required a dramatic crash sequence. The Highwayman's truck had to roll onto its side after being forced off the road. Sam Jones couldn't perform this stunt despite his skills. Rolling a semi-truck was too dangerous. Professional stunt driver Eddie Dono took over. Dono had rolled vehicles dozens of times. He understood the physics and safety requirements. The stunt coordinator rigged the truck with internal roll cage reinforcements. Dono wore a 5-point harness and full protective gear. They'd calculated everything perfectly. The truck would roll once, landing on reinforced panels that would absorb impact. They had tested the sequence with a similar truck. Everything worked flawlessly. The actual stunt went wrong immediately. The truck rolled as planned, but the impact was harder than calculated. The reinforced panels compressed more than expected. The cab's interior shifted during the roll. A metal bracket that should have been secured came loose. When the truck slammed onto its side, the bracket swung into Dono's shoulder with tremendous force. He felt the collarbone snap instantly. Professional discipline kept him from screaming. He stayed in position until the director called a cut. Only then did he radio for medical assistance. The injury required surgery and 3 months recovery. Production insurance covered everything, but Dono never worked on the show again. The stunt footage was spectacular. It appeared in the episode and in promotional materials for years. Viewers had no idea they were watching someone get seriously injured. Number 6. The CB radio was the most authentic component.
So this is my CB. It's a Cobra.
Surrounded by fake turbine engines and non-functional computers, one component was completely authentic, the CB radio. Production installed a genuine Cobra 29 LTD Classic, a top-of-the-line CB radio in 1987. It wasn't just a prop. It actually worked. The decision came from technical advisor Rick Murray, a former long-haul trucker hired to ensure trucking authenticity. Murray insisted that real truckers would notice a fake CB immediately. The radio needed to be genuine, properly installed, and actually capable of transmitting. The production agreed, thinking it was a minor detail. The working CB created unexpected problems. During location shooting on actual highways, the radio would pick up real trucker communications. Drivers would recognize the distinctive truck and try to communicate with it. They'd ask about the show, request autographs, or just want to chat. This would happen during takes, ruining sound recording. The sound department tried disconnecting the antenna. Murray objected. Disconnected radios have a different appearance. The squelch indicator behaves differently. Real truckers would notice. The compromise was keeping the radio connected but turned off during actual filming. Between takes, they'd turn it on. Sam Jones enjoyed talking to real truckers. He'd spend breaks chatting on the CB, learning trucker slang and highway culture. These conversations improved his performance, and he incorporated authentic trucker mannerisms and language into his character. The cheap CB radio contributed more to the show's authenticity than the expensive fake computer system. Number 5, the show's cancellation prevented a planned helicopter edition. Season 2 was never produced, but extensive plans existed. The most ambitious involved adding a helicopter to the Highwayman's arsenal. Script outlines from the canceled second season showed the truck deploying a small reconnaissance helicopter from a hidden trailer compartment. Orberg had already begun preliminary designs. The concept required a custom ultralight helicopter that could fit inside a modified trailer section. The helicopter would emerge through a roof hatch, unfold its rotors, and take flight. Ambitious doesn't begin to describe this idea. The engineering challenges were enormous. Helicopters need precise rotor clearance. Even small ultralights require significant space. Fitting one inside a truck trailer while maintaining road-legal dimensions seemed impossible. Orberg believed he could do it. He'd consulted with helicopter manufacturers and ultralight designers. The consensus was theoretically possible, but prohibitively expensive. Estimated costs range from $400,000 to $600,000. This was just for building the system. Each episode using the helicopter would require additional costs for pilots, safety crews, and aviation insurance. NBC executives reviewed the proposal and laughed. The network was already struggling with basic truck maintenance costs. Adding helicopter expenses was financially insane. When the show was canceled, the helicopter plans died with it. Orberg kept the preliminary designs. He occasionally showed them at conventions, discussing what might have been. Fans universally agree the helicopter would have been either spectacular or ridiculous. Probably both. Number 4. G. Gordon Liddy's villain. Role required, truck modifications.
Semi-automatics, I don't have anything against them.
Episode 9 featured G. Gordon Liddy, the Watergate conspirator-turned-actor, as the villain. His character hijacked the Highwayman's truck in the episode's climax. Liddy, at 67 years old, had limited mobility. He couldn't climb into the truck's high cab without assistance. The production faced a dilemma. They needed Liddy driving the truck for several scenes. Using a stunt double would be obvious in close-ups. The solution required modifying one truck specifically for this episode. They installed retractable stairs that would deploy from beneath the cab. Electric motors would extend and retract the stairs. Liddy could board the truck with dignity, without struggling or requiring help. The modification cost $12,000 for 5 minutes of screen time. The accountants protested. The director insisted. Liddy's celebrity status justified the expense. The publicity from having a notorious Watergate figure on the show was valuable. The retractable stairs worked perfectly during filming. Liddy used them without difficulty, but nobody considered one crucial factor. The stairs violated Department of Transportation regulations for commercial vehicles. They protruded beyond legal width limits when deployed. Highway Patrol stopped the truck during a location move between shooting sites. The officer cited multiple violations. Production had to prove the truck was a television prop, not a commercial vehicle. The citation was eventually dismissed, but the incident created a half-day delay. The retractable stairs were removed immediately after Liddy's episode wrapped. Too much trouble for their limited usefulness. Number 3. The truck appeared in music videos after cancellation.
This is where the rubber meets the road.
After NBC liquidated the trucks, the surviving vehicle found an unexpected second life in music videos. The Arizona collector who owned it rented the truck to production companies throughout the 1990s. At least 7 music videos featured the Highwayman truck. Most were country music videos. The truck fit perfectly with country music's love of big rigs and highway imagery. Garth Brooks reportedly wanted it for The Thunder Rolls, but scheduling didn't work out. The truck appeared in videos for Confederate Railroad, Tracy Lawrence, and several lesser-known artists. Some productions tried hiding the truck's unique features. They'd remove custom bodywork or paint over distinctive elements. The owner eventually prohibited modifications. Renters had to use the truck as is or not at all. This limited its appeal, but preserved its authenticity. The most famous music video appearance was Toby Keith's I Should Have Been a Cowboy in 1993. The truck appeared for approximately 8 seconds. Many viewers never noticed it, but country music fans and Highwayman devotees immediately recognized the distinctive cab design. The rental income helped offset the owner's maintenance costs. The truck earned approximately $60,000 over 5 years of music video work. Not enough to justify the restoration investment, but better than nothing. By the late 1990s, music video budgets were shrinking. CGI was replacing practical vehicles. The rental requests stopped. The truck returned to storage, its music video career ending as quietly as it began. Number 2. Sam Jones bought original Highwayman costume pieces at auction. When NBC liquidated Highwayman assets, Sam Jones attended the auction personally. He wanted mementos from a show that, despite its brief run, meant something to him. The costume department was auctioning his character's wardrobe: leather jackets, boots, accessories. Jones bid on everything. He won most items, paying a total of $4,300. The leather jacket alone cost $1,800. Worth it, he thought? These were pieces of his career. He stored them carefully for years. Occasionally, he'd wear the jacket to fan conventions. People would recognize it immediately. The jacket became a conversation starter. In 2009, Jones faced financial difficulties. He'd invested poorly in real estate. The recession hit him hard. He needed cash quickly. The Highwayman costume pieces were sold to a memorabilia dealer for $12,000. A decent profit, but Jones regretted it immediately. The jacket especially. He'd worn it for a year during filming. It fit him perfectly. It represented a significant role in his career. The dealer sold the pieces individually to various collectors. The jacket went to a Japanese entertainment memorabilia museum. The boots were sold to a private collector in Germany. The accessories scattered across multiple buyers. Jones tried buying back the jacket in 2015. The museum wouldn't sell. He offered triple what they'd paid, still refused. The jacket remains in Japan, displayed behind glass. Jones occasionally sees photos online. He admits it still bothers him that he sold it. Number 1, a faithful replica was built by fans in 2018.
Be my me to it. I make it look easy.
The most unexpected Highwayman development came from dedicated fans. A group of truck enthusiasts and television memorabilia collectors decided to build an accurate replica. They started in 2015 with research, frame-by-frame video analysis, interviews with surviving crew members, measurements from the Arizona collector's truck. They documented every detail. The build took 3 years. The team leader, Michael Torrance, owned a custom fabrication shop in Oregon. He donated space and labor. Team members contributed money, skills, and time. They bought a donor, Kenworth K100, for $22,000. The modifications began. Fiberglass bodywork was sculpted by hand. Hydraulic systems were engineered from scratch. The paint matched using spectral analysis of original photographs. They couldn't recreate everything. The fake turbine engine was simplified. The computer systems were updated with modern hardware running retro graphics, but the exterior achieved remarkable accuracy. The completed replica debuted at a Portland truck show in 2018. The response was overwhelming. Attendees couldn't believe fans had built this. Trucking magazines covered it. The story went viral in custom vehicle communities. Sam Jones heard about it and flew to Oregon at his own expense. He spent an afternoon with the builders, posing for photos and signing autographs. The emotional moment was captured on video. Jones was visibly moved that fans cared enough to recreate his show's truck, 3 decades after cancellation. The replica now appears at conventions and truck shows nationwide. It's keeping the Highwayman's memory alive. The Highwayman's truck transformed from a Rush television prop into a cult classic symbol of 1980s action television. Its legacy survived cancellation, financial disasters, and decades of obscurity through dedicated fans and one determined collector. From condemned warehouse to convention centerpiece, this futuristic semi proved that sometimes the most memorable vehicles are the ones that almost didn't exist.